Rutherfordton.
AM 590 WCAB Rutherfordton with FM translator service on W265DW at 100.9. Does that old tractor or lawnmower have more electrical tape or duct tape holding it together than you want to admit? Well, maybe it's time to see Phil Sheehan and his staff at NC Tractor for a new Massey Ferguson tractor or mower. Massey Ferguson is a company that's been around for over 175 years. That says a lot about a company. And paired with Phil Sheehan, who's been in business for over 25 years, that says a lot about Phil and his staff. Knowledgeable about their product, and they stand behind every sale. Massey Ferguson is the last tractor you'll ever need. NC Tractor, a dependable and reliable company that'll be there after the sale. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton. Good morning. Lou Gillum with your forecast for today. Looking for partly sunny skies with highs around 50 degrees. Clear tonight, lows around 30. Tomorrow, sunshine, highs around 55. Overnight lows around 30. For Friday, another weather maker, rain with highs around 45. Overnight lows around 30. Saturday, sunny, highs around 45. Overnight lows around freezing. And then partly sunny for Sunday. Highs around 40. Overnight lows around 25 degrees. That is your forecast. Have a great day, and thank you for listening. We are Pure Country, 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton.
Welcome to All Things Rutherford, here on 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton. Now here's your host, Todd and Tracy.
Good morning to you, everybody.
Yo, wake up!
Do you have any idea what time it is?
Time to celebrate Hump Day.
I bust my hump every day.
It is Wednesday.
Hump Day, am I right, buddy?
Halfway through the week.
Gosh, it is. Time flies, doesn't it?
Thank God it's Wednesday.
It's showtime.
It's showtime on Wednesday, January the 10th, 2024. Welcome to Wednesday, everybody. After a tumultuous Tuesday. That's what we'll call that.
I thought it was really going to be that bad coming in this morning, but the road was as dry as a bone.
The road was clear.
Temperatures
was high.
Yeah, they were, and I saw some trees that had been cut. They had been across the road. They had been cut.
Yep, I did
in a
notice
couple places
yesterday going home. A couple of several trees down on Whitesides Road here, going in from Whitesides Road over to Ballstick. A lot of trees had fell, but it looks like the fire department's cleared those out pretty quick yesterday. So I'd like to give a shout out to all the folks and the volunteers that took care of that yesterday.
Yep.
Maybe I don't think any. Of course, I don't know. I don't think anything bad accidents came out of that.
I don't know, but I feel like we're in for a good report this morning.
Did yesterday morning about 12 o'clock? Mm-hmm. Did you hear that roll of thunder that just kept rolling and rolling?
Yep.
And rolling?
Me and Lou talked about that.
What's the old wives? There's 10 days it's going to snow.
Yeah,
that's the old wives tell that.
Yeah, we'll have to start counting and see.
Oh, absolutely. So 10 days from yesterday, we're looking at what? Next by next Friday, the 12th.
I'm gonna write that down. Snow. Next Friday, the 12th.
We should see snow by that day. What does our long range forecast say? I don't know.
Well, go ahead and tell us, Todd.
Looky there. On Tuesday, a 40% chance of frozen mix. Lows of 23 degrees. So, mostly sunny in the morning, a chance of rain and snow showers in the morning. There you go. So,
there might
maybe
be something to that.
Let's everybody just remember.
We'll just see if we can get everybody's opinion on this.
Yeah, what do you think about the old?
Is that all wives' tale, or is it really mostly true?
I've heard it my entire life. My grandma swore by it. Mm-hmm. It seems like both my grandmas swore by it. So I don't know. It's one of those. I wonder where that ever originated from.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I bet you I know somebody that'll know that.
Yeah.
Speak of the devil, there he goes popping into chat on the YouTube. Creighton Lovis, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I bet you a dime to a roll of biscuits. I don't know
Maybe
what
he'll
that means.
educate us this morning. A roll of biscuits.
That's the first thing I thought of. Oh, yeah. Where the snow within 10 days of thunder in winter came from. Yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah. We're currently at 36 degrees outside. That's why the roads aren't frozen over. But honestly, the roads got cleared off pretty quick
They
yesterday.
really
I
did.
mean,
Well, it started clearing off about, 5 o'clock, 5 or 6 o'clock?
seems like the rain stopped somewhere around, 3, 4,
Yep.
somewhere. Then all the runoff. Of course, the creeks were up. Rivers were up. And, it kind of got out of here. We're broadcasting, of course, from the Blue Room.
Yeah.
On
I know
the-
people were having power outages. I think Brittany,
Power to hospital went out
Yeah.
yesterday for a while.
they had to come and spend some time with us at Mama's and before they got theirs back up.
About 11:40 or so, we have a daily meeting where we get together and discuss what's going on, and it went out. Computers went down.
Yep.
We were in the dark. Then the generators came on 2 or 3 minutes later, and we were good. So,
Wow.
Sly checking in on the YouTube this morning. Says,
Morning,
good
Sly.
morning, Todd and Tracy. Sly, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Always good when Sly drops in. I bet he's out hard working this morning. Thing about, I worked with the town of Forest City years ago, and when it rained, there's not a lot you can do.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's got to just do its thing
Yeah,
before
it's
it
just-
before it gets over with.
and yesterday was terrible rain. So
Yeah.
a lot of unclugging
Unclugging. That's a new word.
gutters, drain.
Yeah.
If necessary. Usually they keep
I know my car's filthy.
well, yeah.
It's
of
got
course.
mud and sticks all over it.
Sticks and mud. And,
Sticks and mud and all
you
that
know,
good.
your car looks like a mud fence.
It does.
Uglier than a mud fence. You know that old saying.
I've never in my life heard that.
Really?
Nope.
Well,
But Todd, there's things that come out of your mouth that none of us have ever heard.
well, that don't surprise me. I know a lot of things. I know more about nothing than anybody.
That's right.
My son tells me that all the time. He says, just strange things that you know.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing. Like, for example, talking about Creighton, the Bible.
Right.
Everybody loves, most people I know love the Bible. They read it, they catch the stories. But see, there's things in the Bible that I wonder about.
Mm-hmm. Like what?
Like when Jesus was crucified.
Right.
And he rose 3 days later. Why did John? Was it Peter? Why did Peter take it upon himself to say, "I outrun John"? Why?
I don't
Why
know.
did he feel the need to say that? Because I envision Peter being a pretty good sized man.
Uh-huh.
He was a big mouth.
Right.
Kind of like me.
I know a lot of big mouths.
I figure if anybody in the Bible was I figure if I was like anybody in the Bible, it'd probably be Peter.
Right.
Because all the time God was telling Peter, "Shut up."
Yep.
Sir, hush. When Peter chopped that dude's ear off,
Yep.
that would have totally been something I'd have probably tried.
Yep.
But you know why he chopped his ear off?
Why?
Because the guy moved. He was like, "Oh." Peter to hit him, and he got him right in the head. It probably killed him. But anyway, yeah, I wonder why did Peter say, "I outrun John"? Why did he make that a point?
That's just, think about the people that we know that are like that.
Absolutely.
They've always kind of got to be letting you know they're always out there front and foremost.
Yeah. And just little odd little things like that. Why did Jesus weep when he went back to before he raised Lazarus from the
Yeah.
dead? Why did he weep? A lot of people have said a lot of different things.
What do you think?
What do I think? I studied this one time.
Mm-hmm.
People like to say, well, it was because the people around him didn't believe him. Why? He walked around 24 hours a day and nobody believed him.
I think that was his flesh that was, weeping for his friend.
It could have been.
I mean,
Here's something I came up with. Lazarus was dead.
Yeah.
Lazarus knew Jesus from a young age. They were friends.
Mm-hmm.
So Lazarus believing who Jesus was.
Mm-hmm.
What happens to people who believe in Jesus? He says, "I am the Messiah. I am the way, the light, the way to my Father."
right?
Lazarus died. Where was Lazarus then?
Heaven.
Heaven.
Yeah.
He
I get
stayed
it.
4 days in heaven.
He didn't want to bring him back to
Jesus
here.
wept because he knew that he would have to bring him back from heaven and put him back here on earth.
You think that's it?
It could have
Huh.
been. I mean, that's an
Well,
interpretation.
it sure is, isn't it? Yeah.
Peter has foot in the mouth disease. He put his foot in his mouth a lot. That's what it was. There's Alan Tony checking in on the YouTube. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
And it's just one of the things
Yeah,
I was
well, that
studying
makes a
one
lot of
time, and
sense.
I got to thinking about that, and I was like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
he's
that's
sitting up
true.
there. He'd been there for 4 days going, oh, man, what a nice place.
Yeah.
Oh,
All of
and
a
then
sudden
Jesus
he gets
goes,
ripped back down.
Lazarus. What if Jesus hadn't have said Lazarus, step forth? What if he'd have just said, step forth? How many people would have come out of the grave at that point?
That's true.
There'd
That's
been
true.
people everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Something to think about.
We'll get off of this. We'll start our morning call-around report. We're going to the Sheriff's Department first and speak with whoever answers the phone. That's what we're going to say. Here's Dakota Livesay,
We never know.
Chronicles of the Old West.
Johnny Baker was born on January 13, 1869. While still a young kid, he met and became enthralled with Buffalo Bill Cody. At the age of 9, little Johnny would hold Buffalo Bill's horse and run errands for him. At this time, Buffalo Bill was appearing on the stage and the subject of many a dime novel. About 5 years later, Buffalo Bill came up with the idea of starting a Wild West show. Johnny Baker was only 14 years of age, but he talked both his parents and Buffalo Bill into letting him join up. It was discovered that Johnny was a pretty good shot, so he became the show's trick shot expert under the name the Cowboy Kid. One of the features of the Wild West show was a shootout between Annie Oakley and the Cowboy Kid. Whether planned or not, the Cowboy Kid never won. Even after the Wild West show closed, Johnny remained loyal to Buffalo Bill. And after Buffalo Bill's death, Johnny tried resurrecting Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, but it didn't last long. Still wanting to be a part of the circus atmosphere, he went to work for the Miller 101 shows, which were more like a rodeo. For a while, Johnny was their arena director, and then they closed their doors. Johnny still yearned for the excitement he experienced while traveling with Buffalo Bill. He started working with the town of Denver, Colorado to open a museum, and in 1921, the Buffalo Bill Memorial Museum was opened. Johnny Baker ran the museum until his death. It stands today not just as a monument to a great showman, but also as an indication of the love Buffalo Bill's unofficial foster son had for the showman. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
I don't really want to that
13
way.
minutes after 7 o'clock on this Wednesday morning. I don't suggest doing that just to meet
No.
police officers. They're great people.
I'm not going to be robbing no banks.
Oh, no, I wouldn't advise that.
No.
I mean, nowadays they've got so much stuff that
Yeah.
you wouldn't get away with it if you tried. This ain't Jesse James in the Old West. Deputy Butron with us this morning. I'm sure he's against advocates against bank robbing.
Yeah.
So don't go robbing no
I
banks.
guess everybody's wondering, what are they talking about, bank robbing?
Yeah. Deputy Butron, good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing just fine. Hope you are.
Do you do indeed advocate against robbing a bank?
That's correct.
Probably
Do not
wouldn't
do
be a
that.
good idea. Yeah. Tell us what you have this morning, sir.
In the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 124 calls for service. The jail's processed 8 arrests, and there's currently 159 incarcerated in the county jail. For incident reports, Bill Yelton reported a fraud. Susan Sisk also reported a fraud incident. Joshua Calvert reported a breaking and entering. For arrest reports, Joseph Lee Connor was charged with felony breaking and entering, resisting a public officer, and he was also served with a felony probation violation. David Ledbetter was served with a true bill of indictment. That's all we've had.
Deputy Butron, we appreciate that report and hope you have a great Wednesday. Most of all, be safe.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Deputy Butron with that report from the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department. We're going to move to 911 Communications Center next.
To win in sports, you must adjust your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Why not let Andrew Tisdale help you create a game plan for financial success? Call 828-287-9197 and get started today. That's Andrew Tisdale, 828-287-9197.
Fifteen minutes after 7 o'clock on this Wednesday morning. Tina with us from the 911 Communications Center. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. What do you have for us this morning?
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County 911 Communications has processed 332 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 48 for EMS, 124 for the Sheriff's Office, 27 for Forest City, 4 for Lake Lure, 35 for Rutherfordton, and 5 for Spindale. Under fire calls, we had Ellenboro respond to a motor vehicle accident. We had Hudlow respond to a structure fire with Forest City, Spindale, and Sandy Mush assisting. We had SDO respond to a structure fire to assist Polk County. We had Rutherfordton respond to a power line fire. We had all the departments had multiple trees down, and that's what we've had.
Tina, thanks so much for the report. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Tina with that report from the 911 Communications Center. Definitely a lot of trees down in the area. So, yeah, it's one of them things. Multiple departments with multiple trees down.
Yep, and houses. Everybody's going to be picking limbs up from here to Kingdom Come.
That's right. Folks, let me tell you about North Washington Street Banking Company. They're a brand new business right here in Rutherford County, and they are located, you guessed it, on North Washington Street in Rutherfordton. They specialize in cupcakes. They have all flavors. They have brownie bars, cookies, pies, cakes by the slice, or you can order a whole dadgum entire cake.
A dadgum entire
right.
cake.
Just get the
I like
whole
that
darn
word.
thing.
Just dadgum it.
Scones, also in many different flavors. Enjoy the almond and chocolate croissants. Also have lemon, blueberry, fresh strawberry, and cranberry pecan. Or you can enjoy the delicious sweet potato muffin or the sweet bread.
That's good.
Oh, yeah. If you have an event coming up and you need a sweet treat, call on North Washington Street Baking Company. They offer platters and combination trays. They can handle anybody from a few people to a crowd. They can accommodate everyone. Open Monday through Friday, 8 until 4, Saturday, 8 until 1. They're closed on Wednesdays and Sundays. Melissa Carey is the owner and the baker with 30 years experience. You remember her from over at the cafe at the mall, so you know it's going to be good. If you ever got any desserts from over there, I have. Mm-hmm. It's good. Stop in today, 838 North Washington Street in Rutherfordton near Tony's Produce, or call them at 828-827-3747. Trust me, it's a sweet experience. Creighton Loveless with us from the SD with an O Fire Department. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning.
Doing pretty good. Something else I wanted to add. If you'll think about the Bible, it is called the ever-changing Word of God. Mm-hmm. Now, why is that? It's the same word, right?
Yeah.
Because you may interpret a verse a different way than I will. So it changes.
Well, it's fit for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There may be one way that you may read it and you get something heartfelt
it's
from
speaking to you that way.
And there's maybe something that I get from it that's not what
the very same verse that you could read.
Very same thing. That's why it's one of the reasons it's called the ever-changing Word of God. Now,
the author's alive.
Well, let's pass the plate.
Go ahead. What was that?
Speak to us in our needs.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, in all the biblical stories, besides Goliath, I think I would be more like Peter, right? Of course,
I think we all could be like Peter. Peter, I always say that he's the apostle with the foot-shaped mouth.
That's right.
Mouth disease. Every time almost he opens it, he sticks his foot in his mouth.
I sent Creighton a little video yesterday of a guy who he's talking about. He was in transition. Uh-huh. He said, "I will pray for you, but I will smooth cuss you out." He said, "I can pray and I can throw hands." He said, sometimes when my temper gets in the way, I want to pray, but I want to fight. He said, I'm in transition.
That's it. That's right.
That's good.
He was telling it like it was.
He was just laying it straight out there. I will smooth cuss you out.
In a nice Christian way.
That's right.
That's it.
I've been known to do that a time or 12.
Oh.
Nothing like breaking your knuckles and throwing a tool. It makes you feel better. It don't solve anything, but it makes you feel better.
That's it.
My daddy had the innate ability to bust his knuckles, do a complete 360, throw the tool he had in his hand. By the time he got fully back around, he had another one and was going back to work.
Amen.
And was cussing the entire time he was spinning. So, yeah, my dad had an innate ability to do that.
Uh-huh.
Creighton, what do you got for us this morning?
Well, guys, it is the 10th day of the year. We got 356 days left in this year of 2024. Today, it looks like it's National Houseplant Appreciation Day. If you got the green thumb, hopefully you've got little plants here and there. They do add a lot to our rooms and our houses where we are. I have one house plant that was it was sent whenever my mother died. My brother Paul and Miss Lori Dabdu down in Slidell, Louisiana, and it's still alive. That's been around the Lovelace household since 2008. So it's stuck around. Meanwhile, my other house plants, especially here at school, I appreciate every one of them. They're all plastic. I ain't got to water them or anything of that nature. So, amen to that. So anyway, in the last 24 hours, Chief Hopper reported that SDO responded to a motor vehicle accident. There was one public assistance call and 2 trees down. And, of course, we heard about the structure fire as well. So they've been rather busy down there at SDO, and we appreciate the service of those men and women there out of the Shiloh, Downtown, Oakland Fire Department. No birthdays or anniversaries to report, and events, well, it is Wednesday, and that means most of our area churches are going to be having their midweek services at either 6 or 7 normally. So find out when that service is going to be and surprise your preacher and head on out to church tonight. Yeah, I know you'll be glad that you did. We at Danieltown, we have Q&A at 6 o'clock, and then 7 o'clock we have our evening worship service on Wednesdays. And so all those questions and things, Todd, you were talking about, those are opportunities where folks can bring those questions and get them hopefully answered from a biblical standpoint. And if we don't know the answer, we'll say, I don't know. We'll always be honest. But folks in Radio Land, if y'all have birthdays, anniversaries, or events, y'all know by now, you can email them to me at sdoevent@gmail.com. Looks like in the fire district today, except for a few afternoon clouds, looks like it's going to be mainly sunny with a high of 48. Our Danieltown weatherman, Kerry Toms, he reported yesterday afternoon that we got 4.5 inches of rain in Danieltown.
Golly, that's a lot of rain.
Yes,
that's
it
a
is.
lot of rain, yes. It was kind of squishy around the house. Of course, where the old fish camp used to be, it's I think it's a but a tax office now out on Oakland. That little creek down there, it was the highest I've ever seen it in my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
With a lot of water running around there. Looks like tonight we'll have some clouds early. That'll give way to generally clear conditions overnight with a low of 28. Sunrise is coming up, y'all, at 7:36. Sunset is jumping by about 2 minutes every day, looks like. I know yesterday sunset was at 5:31. Now it'll be at 5:33, so it looks like it's getting later and later now. The moon is in the waning crescent phase, and the signs today, well, they're going to be in the knees. That's still a fertile sign, and the moon is still inside of the dark phase, and it will be until tomorrow. Also, guys, how do mice floss their teeth?
Oh.
I don't know that one.
I'm afraid to ask.
With string cheese.
There you go.
Hey, we had a caller call in. I'm going to pass this along real quick. And they shared with us about, maybe y'all have heard this, what Bible means, B-I-B-L-E.
Oh, yeah.
Basic instructions before leaving Earth.
Yep.
That's right. Creighton, do you have any idea where the snow then 10 days after the thunder in winter came from? It's probably I would imagine that was an old farmer's almanac, maybe something right in those.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would think. I would think that, or possibly it might even come through maybe from the Indians or something. But let's see. I don't know.
Kind of wondered that.
Could have come from the Indians.
You know,
Or
of course,
from Grandma.
A lot of those old sayings, they have a lot of weight to them, and they actually, a lot of them kind of hold water, so to speak. I know my daddy and my grandpa, they always told me that whenever the wind blows the leaves up and you kind of see the underside of them,
it's going to rain.
It's going to rain, yeah.
Yeah, and that's true. It really does happen.
Yeah, I've actually watched that happen.
Yeah, I have too.
So things like that, like, you know, they say whenever you see the cows lay down or when you see smoke going up or smoke going down, stuff like that actually has a scientific background to it. But I'll have to research that, maybe get back to y'all tomorrow.
And if you ever notice, this is one of the things that came about from the Japanese tsunami. People reported that all the birds flew inland from out on the islands, outer lying islands off Japan.
Right.
Said they all flew way inland, and there was like no creatures along the shoreline anymore before the tsunami hit. So they knew it and left and got out of the way.
I have 100% believe that animals, and they know
like
that what's going to happen.
During a bad thunderstorm, like on a sunny day, you know, if you're outside, you can hear the birds chirping. All of a sudden, you won't hear the birds chirping, so you know there's a bad thunderstorm coming.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They'll leave and go somewhere else.
People will just pay attention and watch. You'll learn all kind of things from nature.
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 Nature will teach us. Even Jesus talked about that. You know, he was talking, I believe it was to the Pharisees, and he said, you know, you see the red sky, and you know there'll be rain. And he actually mentioned that. So it's interesting that even stuff like that is inside of the Bible.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
Amazing
awesome.
what we see.
Okay, we appreciate it. Hope you have a good Wednesday. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Well, thank you, guys. Y'all have a blessed day. Be safe out there.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Forgot to mention that the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department report and the 911 communications report being brought to you by the fine folks over at Jay's Discount Grocery.
With gas and utility prices skyrocketing, you need to save money wherever you can. Jay's Discount Grocery can help you do just that. Jay's Grocery has a fresh meat market and a produce aisle like no other. Jay's carries all household needs, including dog and cat food, cups, paper plates, drinks, famous brand names arriving daily at a fraction of the cost. You know, you just never know what you'll find at Jay's. Find out for yourself. Jay's is open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 7, Friday and Saturday, 8 to 8, closed on Sundays. Jay's Discount Grocery, 671 Oak Street in Forest City. Shop Jay's and walk out with a pocket full of savings.
27 minutes after 7 o'clock, going up to the Chimney Rock Fire District. Chris Melton with us this morning. Chris, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are y'all doing?
Doing good.
We are doing just fine.
Anything happening up that way this morning?
I bet you was busy yesterday.
We sure was. I'm still waterlogged, and I'm a melt.
Yeah.
But, we I can't keep up with what all fire departments did because we was just so busy yesterday. But I know both Chimney Rock and Lake Lure and Bills Creek, we ran multiple flooding incidents and had several issues related with that. But luckily, no major incidents. Had a slide on 6474 and above Highway 9 between Lake Lure Fire Department. But both lanes are open, and then had a small little slide actually at Chimney Rock Fire Department, but we can still get our fire trucks out and take probably about 3 or 4 buckets, scoops with a tractor to get it out. So got a little construction going above us, and I believe that's what ran down the mountain and got us. But,
Yep, could have been.
But DOT's going to be busy. We need to keep them guys in our prayers because state keeps cutting their funding and they keep losing people. And
wow.
Yeah, even though the trees fell down and the fire departments came out and moved them off the side of the road, they still got to be moved off the side of the road.
That's right.
Yeah, and the ditches are crazy full, especially up here.
Oh, I saw on Facebook one of my friends posted of Lake Lure, that water, those. Oh my gosh!
The buildings off the back deck off of that restaurant there, it was flooding up.
It's crazy.
Honestly, that's normal, and we get a lot of calls on that. But they upped that back deck years ago, and we told them, like, hey, this always happens. You know, the previous owners never did anything with it because they knew it was going to flood and could possibly damage it, but they continued, and so that's not uncommon right there, especially at the brewery.
Just kind of have to accept, hey, it's going to happen. Just a matter of when.
But Facebook really takes care of the dramatic effects on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my phone blew up yesterday over that.
Yeah. Well, Chris, we appreciate it. You hope it's much quieter today, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
You too, Chris.
Chris Mel with that report from the Chimney Rock Fire District. Jonna Prescott checking in on the YouTube. Good.
Good
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie. Hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on. I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
If you need a legal consultation regarding wills, real estate, closings, Medicaid planning, or just legal representation, contact attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin at the Arledge Law Firm on East Court Street in Rutherfordton. They offer years of experience and expertise. Arledge Law Firm is your local professional law firm that really cares about their clients, and it shows. Whatever the situation you're facing, call 828-287-3338. Let the professional team go to work for you.
7:30 on this Wednesday morning. Going over to Deverne Upton over in the Ballstick Fire District. Deverne, good morning.
Good morning. Hope y'all are doing well.
Doing good.
We certainly are.
I had to walk across the street, from building to building to the Crawford building yesterday to help a doctor, and I'm the biggest guy there, and I picked the littlest umbrella I could find. And I was like, I'm not going to crowd myself up under this.
I'm sorry, but I had the visual of that.
I was all hunkered under that little thing trying to stay dry. Oh, almost impossible.
Oh, I would hate somebody didn't get a picture of that.
Deverne, what do you have for us this morning?
Well, we have a temperature of 36 degrees. Fire department was busy yesterday going to down trees and power lines down and watching the water, and just real busy yesterday. Don't forget, food boxes will be given out at Chase Ministry there on Chase Highway this morning from 9 to 10:30. If you're in need, go by and get you one. Free clothes giveaway the 27th of this month at 10 o'clock at Faith Baptist Church there in Forest City. And our bee supply store is located here in Ballstick on Depot Street. If you're in need of any bee supply items, and she does have other items in there, go by and check her out. And hope everyone has a wonderful and dry day today.
Thanks, Deverne.
Thank you, Deverne. You have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Deverne Upton with that report from the Ballstick Fire District. We're going to check in with Robbie Samuel next.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush. Brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
7:33 on this Wednesday morning. Robbie Samuel with us this morning. Robbie, good morning.
Well, good morning. How are y'all this morning?
Doing good.
We're just fabulous.
Guess what time it is, Robbie?
Oh, I know what it is, but I'm not going to spoil it.
And now for something completely different.
Well, here are some facts about the 1500s. Did y'all, you know what? You know, people get married in June. It's a big wedding
June
month.
wedding, June
okay,
brides,
most people got married in June in the 1500s because they took their yearly bath in May, and they still smelled pretty good in June. However, since they were starting to smell again, brides carried a bouquet of flowers to hide body odor. Hence the custom today of carrying a bouquet when getting married. That's why we carry bouquets, people. And, you know, it makes me wonder, and Creighton would probably know that. We always refer back to Creighton. I wonder what kind of flower. Was there a certain kind of flower that gave off more of a fragrance? Makes you wonder. I don't know.
I don't know, but that's got to be a pretty good flower to cover up that much mess.
I mean, okay, yeah. You take your bath. You take your bath in May, and you still smell pretty good by June. You know, you're still smelling pretty good.
What was a dating ritual? Be like, hey, baby. Oh, I see you had a bath a month ago.
Can you imagine when he asked her to marry him? What did she smell like then? I mean, was it May? I hope it was May.
Imagine that was about the 11th month of not having that bath.
Well,
I bet Tom Green was there.
Probably. You reckon that's why they call some men dogs?
Oh,
They don't care what it smells like.
I bet you so.
Well, you know.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I just saw that.
All
I
right.
thought that was so
All right.
interesting.
All right.
But
back. Ooh, let's go. Let's turn off this road. Let's get back on the main highway here.
you got to admit that is pretty interesting.
That is
very interesting.
That is definitely different.
You know, we all say we'd love to live back in the old days. You know, really, if you really think about it, we probably don't.
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
As long as they had deodorant, it might not be too bad.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think they did.
They don't take a bath once a year. I mean,
They had to make their own soap, lye soap. What is it made out of? What is lye? What is that made out of?
Lye.
I mean, what is it?
It's lye.
Does it have a smell?
It'll get you clean.
Okay. That's
Robbie,
all that matters.
Tell us about what happened yesterday with the Mount Vernon Fire District.
Well, everybody was, like Chris said just a few minutes ago, everybody was busy yesterday. It was just a lot of it wasn't major storm damage for us, so to say, for Rutherford or Hudlow, but it was enough to keep you busy, to keep the roads ridden and cleared. Speaking of that, with a lot of the water, I did see even places in town, like in the streets, where it'd be like geysers coming up through the cracks of the roads. It was just so much rain. I have to agree with Creighton and a lot of you. There's a lot of places I've seen water standing. I've never seen it stand before. And we did have over, like he said too, we had over 4.5 inches of rain in the rain gauge here at my house. So it was very interesting, but it could have been a lot worse. I don't think the wind got nowhere near as bad as they first said it would be.
Thank goodness.
I know.
Very thank God for that. Yeah, it's
I think they missed that part of it, thank goodness.
Yeah, I figured it was going to be a crazy night because it seemed like it wanted to start right at dark, so that's when it usually kind of gets crazy. But luckily it didn't. But Hudlow did have a structure fire last night, and it sounded like it done some pretty good damage to the home. So keep those family and folks in your prayers. They was assisted by Spindale and Far City and Sandy Mush. And in Rutherford, we just had a few medical calls through the night, so we ended it with that. So hopefully today will be a lot better day for everybody. And Green Street is closed, so I'm assuming it's going to be closed. It's temporarily closed, but it's going to be closed for about a year or two at this point, if I remember right, if I understand right, excuse me. They're going to start with that phase of the road and start a bridge for Green Street. So if you travel Green Street a lot, you're going to have to take the long way around now. So starting, that is, like I said, it may have been closed yesterday, but I do know the 10th of January is when it's supposed to be permanently closed. So just keep that in mind. And also, one more thing, I know it's not here just yet, but to give everybody a heads up, Monday, January the 15th, which is Martin Luther King's birthday, the town reserves that holiday. So if you do have trash pickup Monday, it'll be picked up the following Tuesday. And other than that, hey, I think that's about got me covered on the Rutherford and the Hudlow end of town. So
all right, Robbie.
Day holds in store.
We appreciate it. Hope you have a great Wednesday, and we will catch you again tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan. Y'all take care.
Thanks.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Robbie Samuel with that report from the Mount Vernon Fire District. Going to check in with Sue Price over in the Sunshine Cherry Mountain Fire District after this.
Sis Ford, located on Oak Street in Forest City, is now Legendary Ford. Still locally owned and still offering the same local hometown service as always. The new family at Legendary Ford is working hard to prove to you that they want your business. So stop by today and see the large selection of cars, SUVs, and trucks on the lot, and let the guys at Legendary Ford help you choose the perfect vehicle that best fits you and your family. Visit them at 565 Oak Street in Forest City, or visit the website at www.legendaryford.com, or call them at 245-1626.
21 minutes before the hour of 8 o'clock on this Wednesday morning. Sue Price with us from the Sunshine Cherry Mountain Fire District. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning. Good morning. How are y'all?
Doing good.
Hope you're safe and secure after yesterday's turmoil.
Do you have water standing everywhere? That was crazy.
It was bad, wasn't it? That wind, it didn't last long, but
yeah,
boy, it was bad while it was here.
It
As
sure
my
was.
wife would say, the wind was a whoop.
Kind of like being in a tornado.
It was. At one point, it was just that rain was sideways, wind was blowing. It's crazy.
I know it was. And Ron's got a cat out on our front porch, and it's in a cage, big cage. So when it was over, the wind, I opened the door to look at her, and the whole thing was gone. I thought,
Oh, my.
Lord. I stepped out. It had swept everything on the front porch over to the other side. It happened to be closed in more because we've got a ramp there.
Oh, my God.
And everything stopped there. Her cage was over there, and she's looking real pitiful, like, what happened to me?
Help me.
Oh, my
But
gosh.
she's all right.
I bet she felt like she was on a roller coaster.
It just
Oh,
swept that
my.
front porch, everything on it was over in that corner, piled up.
That little cat will never be the same.
Scary.
It is.
But anyway, that wind didn't last long, but it was terrible while it happened. And the rain, Duncan's Creek looked like a river yesterday. But anyway, we got through it, and we didn't lose power. That was
No, thank
that was a
goodness.
wonderful thing.
I know my daughter and her husband lost for a few hours.
Yeah.
But thank goodness we didn't. And
It was all hunkered down over at Martha's.
all hunkered down over at Martha's.
Well, we had it blinked a couple of times, but it didn't ever go off, so that was a blessing.
Yeah, it was.
Well, let's see. I had no calls from the fire department. They were out cleaning up, everything. We sure do appreciate all they do. And no birthdays on my Duncan's Creek church calendar today. On my personal calendar, I've got Christopher Campbell. Chris is our neighbor, and I hope he'll have a good day today. Nothing on Fairview's calendar today, so not too many celebrate, but we hope anybody's having a birthday or anniversary. We'll have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. And I hope y'all will have a good day, and we'll be talking to you tomorrow.
All right, Sue, we'll see you then. Thanks.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Sue Price with that report from the Sunshine Cherry Mountain Fire District. Makes way for us to be up in Shingle Hollow. And Tina White next.
It's a family tradition, caring for your family at a time of sorrow and need. Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services, owned and operated by the Crow family, has been a part of our community for over 65 years. They've been recognized for the highest level of professional service. Crow's pinpoints every service detail to ensure your family has the best service possible. Any questions, call the staff at Crow's 286-2304. They'll be happy to speak with you about pre-funeral needs as well. Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services, 118 College Avenue, Rutherford, or visit them at www.crowmortuary.com.
7:42 on this Wednesday morning, and going to Tina White up in Shingle Holler. Tina, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
You got to put
Good morning.
Got to put that on the end.
That's right.
Shingle Holler.
Holler.
Shingle Holler. Well, we're still Shingle Holler up here. We didn't get blowed away or rained away or flooded down. But it's sure the creeks were high. Let's look. So this morning it was 38 degrees on the front porch. We got about 4.5 inches of rain over the past 24 hours. The fire department had one tree down and one medical call yesterday. We have a birthday today for Miss Judy Owenby. Hope she has a wonderful birthday. No anniversaries that I see. And Rick Strickland is going to be at Tiny Knob Baptist Church on January 21st at 6 p.m. Everyone invited to come out and hear him sing. And Trinity Christian School is having their open house on January 18th from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. All North Carolina families are eligible for opportunity scholarships this year. So if you just have a little interest or just have some questions, feel free to call Trinity Christian School and plan on coming out for their open house January 18th. And over at Pinnacle Elementary, the new principal there has updated the teacher's lounge, and she's put in like a little coffee bar and a nugget ice maker. And they are asking for donations for the teachers to make it even better. If you'd like to donate anything like individually wrapped snacks or little K-cups for the coffee maker or like hot chocolate or teas or anything and creamers, please feel free to do that and just drop them off there at Pinnacle Elementary. And I think that's all we've got this morning. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and take time to praise God for His many blessings.
That's right. Thanks, Tina. Hope you have a wonderful Wednesday, and we will catch you again tomorrow.
Oh, too. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
you.
bye-bye.
Take care.
Tina White reporting from the Shingle Hollow Fire District. We're going to check in over at Brenda Kelly's house over in Union Mills. I know the creek done rose over there.
Let's see if she's still sitting on her little
See if
hill.
She's still sitting on the hill over there. We'll get to her after this.
Don't let the pest bug you when Hutchins Pest Control is as close as a phone call. Honest, dependable, professional, and on-time service is the reason they continue to be voted best in pest control. Licensed in North and South Carolina and fully insured and bonded. Free estimates when you call Hutchins Pest Control, and you can be sure that job is going to be done right. That's Hutchins Pest Control. Call them today at 287-5171, and they'll be right there.
15 minutes till 8 o'clock. Brenda Kelly with us from Union Mills. Brenda, how's that creek over there?
Well, to be truthful with you, I can't see the creek from on top of the hill where I live.
But I'm glad you're still on top of the hill there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still on top of the hill. It didn't wash me down to the creek, so that's good. But
You didn't want to get relocated.
But I tell you it was about 10 to 12 yesterday. I thought, what in the world? And I looked out, and everything on the porch was going yon way, and the rain was just everywhere. And my porch is covered, and it's got railing and stuff all around it. And the wind was blowing so hard, I thought, my goodness, it scared the dog in here, and she went and got under the bed.
Yeah, I don't blame her. I'd probably got under the bed.
Yeah, I'd have been up under there with her.
Yeah, but it didn't last long. But I thought, goodness gracious, if it comes back like that again, we're going to be into some trouble. But
And that was about the time that roll of thunder hit. And it seemed like it lasted for 2 or 3
right
minutes.
There
Just
at
kept
noon
rolling.
is when everything started happening.
Yeah,
It was scary, really.
I thought, is this the beginning of a tornado or
Yeah.
what? You know, and
crazy.
And it was crazy.
Yeah.
But you was talking earlier, Todd, about Jesus wept. I think and you're talking about how you can read something and interpret it one way, and I can read something and interpret it another way. But I feel like the reason that Jesus wept was to let it be known that it's okay for us to weep when someone goes on to the other side.
Yeah, and that's right too.
You know that if Jesus wept, then it's okay for us to weep. And also, I feel like the reason that he didn't leave Lazarus in the grave was because his loved ones were so heartbroken, and Jesus was thinking of them, and that's why he raised him from the dead.
Yeah, could be.
That's
that
true.
make sense?
Yeah,
Oh,
it does
absolutely.
make sense. You're right.
And somebody may read that. I'm going to go read that verse and just
Yep.
see. And they may get a whole different thing
Yep.
about it. You never know.
Yep.
And that's the shortest verse in the Bible.
It sure is. Jesus
Yeah.
wept.
But we hope everybody's having a good day. It's a wonderful Wednesday. I've got 34 degrees on the front porch. I don't have any birthdays, any anniversaries. I don't know of anything that's going on. I've had no calls. I haven't been out, so I don't know, what's happened. All I know is this little part up here, the good Lord took care of me, and I said, thank you, Jesus. But other than that, I don't have anything, so I guess you better truck on down to Ellenburg and check on Luther and see if he's still up and about.
We'll do it, Brenda. Thanks so much. Have a good Wednesday.
Thank you, Brenda. Have a good one.
Brenda Kelly reporting from the Union Mills Fire District. We are indeed going to go check in with Luther Gillikin down in Ellenboro next.
Jim, have you seen Henson Building Materials' newly remodeled showroom? It's gorgeous.
You mean where they have a full line of hardware and building materials for homeowners and home builders?
I mean where Jamie, Terry, and Tony, their friendly staff, treat me like family. Oh, they're so nice.
Hey, are they taking COVID precautions and have curbside service?
Of course. They're so thoughtful.
I do need some materials, but I don't think they'll fit in our car.
Oh, silly. They have professional delivery so we can get whatever I want.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street in Forest City.
Building starts here.
Luther Gillikin with us from the Ellenboro Fire District. Luther, good morning, sir.
Good morning, you two. It's a nice morning this morning, beat yesterday.
That's right.
Yesterday, rather wet out there. But I lost 7 pounds.
Well, yeah, I started to say, you can't be outside too long in that now.
That's right. I got just in and out of the car. I got wet and lost 7 pounds.
There you go.
just melted away. But it's quiet there this morning. That's going on. The fire department, they had some trees down there in that storm. They had some power lines down. They had one hit and run. They had one medical call. So, but they're quiet this morning. That's going on in. So you two have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, Luther, we'll see you then.
Thank you, Luther. Take care.
All right. Take care.
Luther Gillikin wrapping up our call around report for this Wednesday.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Folks, Granny Bees is our sponsor for the morning birthdays and the birthday winter. You can enjoy fresh, delicious orange twist, a Long John, a cream-filled donut, original glazed donuts, or for lunch, stop in and get a delicious Granny Bees sub sandwich, or you can get a salad if you don't want the sandwich. Granny Bees does beautiful cakes for showers, weddings, birthdays, or any occasion you need a cake. Granny Bees hours are Tuesday through Friday, 9 until 7, Saturday 9 until 6. Call them at 286-9012, located at 322 West Main Street in Spindale. If you're celebrating a birthday or anniversary today, give me a call, 287-3356. We're going to have a party in your honor and give away some pettifours, compliments of Granny Bees and Pure Country.
I received the following poem in a newsletter sent out by an elderly person whose life was what this poem is about. The poem goes, "Who in their life hasn't planted a peach pit, just hoping that somehow a seedling would grow? And then they move on to some other adventure, and if it comes up, well, they don't even know." That's one way of picturing your style of living. You've planted ideas and dreams unaware. You've noticed somebody whose heart needs attention and planted a positive feeling in there. It's part of your nature. You may not remember the kind and encouraging things you've done, but everywhere, peach pits are growing like crazy, and people are blooming. I know it. I'm one. I think this little poem makes sense to a lot of people. Some of you have planted seeds of kindness all of your life, but have not seen all of the benefits of what you have sown. And others of you were tremendously helped by just the right word or gift at just the right time, when the giver had little knowledge of the part they played in your life. I guess the best we can say is just keep planting peach pits and wait for them to bloom. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living. Scripts for these programs.
Happy birthday today to Shirley Rash, celebrating a birthday today. Also, Austin Burke, he's 30 years old. He's preacher over at the Ark Church in Bostic there, so happy birthday, Austin. Birthdays and events throughout history. Roy E. Disney is born on this day in 1930. He died in 2009. 1943, singer Jim Croce was born. He died in 1973. 1945, singer Rod Stewart. That's probably one of my wife's favorite singers.
Oh, really?
Rod Stewart. 1949, the man that invented the grill, George Foreman. No, he was a boxing legend way before he invented the grill, George
I heard
Foreman.
that all his children were named George.
They are. Yep, George the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 5th, 16th. Not ever how many he's got, I don't know.
16.
1953, Pat Benatar was born on this day. In 1911, on this day in history, the first photo was taken from an airplane. On this day in 1932, Mickey Mouse and Silly Symphony comics were syndicated. 1949, RCA introduces what? The 45 RPM record.
Ooh, oh boy.
On this day in 1956, Elvis Presley records Heartbreak Hotel. On this day in 1958, Jerry Lee Lewis's hit Great Balls of Fire reached number 1 And in 1967, PBS begins as a 70-station network. Still going strong today. Today is National Houseplant Appreciation Day.
Houseplant Appreciation Day. Do you have any houseplants?
No.
I don't either. I've got some plastic ones.
Don't let Tracy have any houseplants.
Hey, watch it now.
If you want to sentence a plant to death, send it to Tracy.
You remember when Butch used to bring them in, he'd go, why are you doing this?
And you'd kill them every day.
I've got 2 in there. They're living. Thank you very much.
There you go. National Oysters Rockefeller Day. Don't think I want anything to do with that. National Save the Eagles Day and National Bittersweet Chocolate Day.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're going to see if we can get a hold of Wayne Rollins from Wayne's Lunchbox this morning. Get him on the radio and talk with him just a few minutes and see what's going on in the world of Wayne's Lunchbox. Give him a ring on the telephone there. Remember, you can always go by Wayne's and for lunch up on West Main Street in Spindale there. We got meat and 2 vegetables. Yeah, Wayne's not going to be able to get us this morning. So anyway, enjoy Wayne's Lunchbox Monday through Thursday with all your homemade favorites that are sure to please even the picky eaters. You can enjoy burgers or salads, sandwiches, meats, veggies. They have that for lunch now. Open Monday through Thursday, 11 until 2, supper 3 until 7. Wayne's Lunchbox also has a great catering service from budget traditional to elaborate. Whatever you need, Wayne can provide all you need for a perfect event. 391 East Main Street is the address, or call them at 828-395-2225. That's Wayne's Lunchbox. The winner of our Pettifours this morning, Austin Burke, preacher over at the Ark Church in Boston. So, Austin, go by Granny B's and enjoy compliments of WCAB Pure Country and Granny B's. It's been great being here with you on this Wednesday morning.
As always.
Look forward to it again tomorrow morning. But until then, remember, be good to each other. It'll all come back around to you.
We promise.
We promise. Have a great Wednesday.
Take care.
Involved with their community, but also letting them know that we're here to support them.
Tax season is here, and you need to get ready to crunch the numbers. January 29th is the official start date. You're listening to NCI News.
Medicaid eligibility has expanded in North Carolina. Healthcare is now within your reach. Get peace of mind, reduce your worry about high medical bills due to doctor's appointments, prescriptions, emergency room visits, and preventive care at medicaid.nc.gov. Today, even more North Carolinians are eligible, including single adults. Keep yourself and your family healthy. Enroll now at medicaid.nc.gov. That's medicaid.nc.gov. This message brought to you by Care for Carolina.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
A federal judge is expected to hear arguments today in a lawsuit that has the potential to upend the 2024 primary elections in North Carolina. Black voters in northeastern North Carolina are suing to temporarily halt the elections for at least 2 state Senate districts. Iraq is indicating it wants U.S.-led military forces out of the country now that the war with ISIS is over. CBS's Cameron McCormick has more.
The Iraqi prime minister tells Reuters in an interview that the U.S.-led presence has now become destabilizing with Israel's war on Hamas. The U.S. recently launched strikes against Iran-linked militant groups there after a series of attacks on bases housing U.S. troops. That's raised fears Iraq could once again become the center of a regional conflict. The prime minister indicated the sooner U.S. troops leave, the sooner the attacks will stop. The U.S. is concerned about growing Iranian influence in Iraq and says it has no plans to withdraw troops.
It'll still be a while before women will land on the moon. CBS's Matt Piper explains.
It now won't be until late 2026 when the first woman and first person of color will step foot on the moon. NASA delaying its Artemis moon landing program. The space agency had planned to send 4 astronauts around the moon late this year. That's now set for late next year. The first human moon landing in more than 50 years also got bumped from 2025 to September 2026. It cited safety and technical issues for the delays.
Climate change continues to be an issue as many ski resorts are faced with a new reality of artificial snow in order to further ensure better ski conditions in North Carolina. Travis Worrell is Cataloochee ski manager and told WLOS in Asheville.
We'll make snow any opportunity we get, and we strive every day to just continue to improve the conditions. We've really taken pride in the great skiing conditions we've been able to provide.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Music, WCAB.
This is Dakota Livesay chronicling another true story taken from the 1800s, a time known to all as the Old West. In the Old West, there were big men. Some became big because of their reputation. Others were big because of their physical size. Today's story is about a man who was big on both counts.
Well, here's the long distance bill.
Right.
And the internet bill.
Uh-huh.
And the wireless bill.
Anything you say, honey.
You're not listening to a word I say. These bills are taking away our extra cash.
Well, Fred told me about Affinity 4.
4 times more money for us to spend, right?
No, long distance internet, wireless service, and Fred says it's inexpensive. He's paying less now than ever before. Plus, Affinity 4 has always supported family values based on causes throughout the country. In fact, a portion of each billing goes to support their mission. Fred says he's not only helping himself with lower costs, but he's helping others too.
Affinity 4 sounds good. Did Fred give you a number?
Yeah, I think I have it. Hold on.
That number is 1-800-684-4815. Save money on your bills with Affinity 4. A new standard for giving. That's 1-800-684-4815.
William Alexander Anderson Wallace not only had a big name, at 6 foot 2 inches tall and 240 pounds, he was a really big man for the 1800s. For most of us, our reach equals our height. For William Wallace, he had a reach of 6 foot 6 inches on his 6 foot 2 inch frame. William Wallace had really big arms. During the Mexican War, Wallace was captured by the Mexicans. They couldn't find a pair of shoes large enough to fit him. His shoe size was 12, a really big foot, so he got the nickname Bigfoot. Bigfoot, along with 159 other Texans fighting Mexico, was captured and imprisoned down in Mexico. All the prisoners were to be shot, but the officer in charge didn't want to do this. So he placed 144 white beans and 16 black beans in a gourd. Drawing a white bean meant you lived. A black bean, you were shot. Bigfoot placed his hand in the gourd and, taking a really big amount of time, came up with a white bean. Bigfoot Wallace was released 2 years later. He immediately joined the Texas Rangers and fought Indians and Mexicans in a really big way. In 1848, Bigfoot acquired a contract to carry mail between San Antonio and El Paso. He would travel the 1,200-mile round trip in about 30 days. On January 7, 1889, at the age of 82, Bigfoot Wallace died. A really big amount of time for the 1800s. Bigfoot Wallace lived the last years of his life near a town named after him, Bigfoot. Incidentally, Bigfoot was a really small town. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Eggers Funeral Home of Cliffside is sincerely grateful for the service and sacrifices of our veterans. As a United States veteran, you are entitled to specific funeral-related benefits and services. At Eggers, we have the experience and knowledge to guide you through obtaining the benefits available to you. Please ask us about the benefits that should be coming to you as a veteran or a veteran family member. Contact Eggers of Cliffside today at 828-657-6322. A veteran funeral allows us to honor and celebrate the life of your loved one and can be a very significant step in healing.
Hungry? Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime is a good time to stop in at Gregory's Original Restaurant. Choose from fresh delicious burgers, fries, sandwiches, pasta dishes, fresh salads, grinders, and so much more. All orders are prepared fresh and to perfection. Open Monday through Friday, 11 till 9, Saturdays noon till 9, closed on Sundays. Call in or carry out, 828-287-2171. Located in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherfordton, and DoorDash delivery is available. Fast and friendly service. That's Gregory's Original Restaurant. Does that old tractor or lawnmower have more electrical tape or duct tape holding it together than you want to admit? Well, maybe it's time to see Phil Sheehan and his staff at NC Tractor for a new Massey Ferguson tractor or mower. Massey Ferguson is a company that's been around for over 175 years. That says a lot about a company. And paired with Phil Sheehan, who's been in business for over 25 years, that says a lot about Phil and his staff. Knowledgeable about their product, and they stand behind every sale. Massey Ferguson is the last tractor you'll ever need. NC Tractor, a dependable and reliable company that'll be there after the sale. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton. Good morning. Lou Gillum with your forecast for today. Looking for partly sunny skies with highs around 50 degrees. Clear tonight, lows around 30. Tomorrow, sunshine, highs around 55. Overnight lows around 30. For Friday, another weather maker, rain with highs around 45. Overnight lows around 30. Saturday, sunny, highs around 45. Overnight lows around freezing. And then partly sunny for Sunday. Highs around 40. Overnight lows around 25 degrees. That is your forecast. Have a great day, and thank you for listening. We are Pure Country, 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton. Well, currently it's 35 degrees, and we always turn to Mr. Tom Roop to check on the weather to see how much rain we may have gotten yesterday. Good morning, Mr. Roop.
Good morning, good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm waterlogged, but I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, I think the whole county is. Can you give us an idea on how much rain we got yesterday?
Well, total from beginning to end was 5.20, so that's almost a record.
It kind of sounds like we're trying to catch up all at one time, all the rain that we missed back in the summertime.
Yeah, the average for the month is 4.60, and we've already received that in the first 10 days.
Okay, well, that's a good sign. Good. That sounds good. Well, we got more rain coming on Friday, and we'll probably be checking back with you on Monday to see how much we get then.
All right, I'll be here.
All
I don't plan on vacating the place anytime soon.
All righty. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Well, and that's Mr. Tom Roop. We always check in with him. He's always got the answers to the weather in the area. Well, yesterday, flood watches, warnings, wind advisories, warnings. There was even a winter weather advisory in effect for some western North Carolina counties. Several school districts delayed starting school yesterday, or some schools didn't even take up yesterday. Forecast of high winds, heavy rain, potentially freezing rain for yesterday. Now, as the powerful storm system moved through our state yesterday and last night, Duke Energy was prepared for the potential of power outages, and crews were and continue to work to restore power as safely and as quickly as possible. Now, yesterday, the Rutherford County Commissioners issued a state of emergency for Rutherford County. Governor Roy Cooper declared a state of emergency on Monday before the heavy rain started to fall across North Carolina, including in the mountains. The potential for powerful wind gusts were predicted for western North Carolina, and even more for today that still could result in downed tree limbs and trees, causing widespread power outages. As of 2:20 yesterday afternoon, the numbers in the area: Cleveland County reported 263 power outages. Henderson County reported 5. Polk County reported 21. 948 people in Rutherford County were without power yesterday afternoon at 2:20. Transylvania County, 692 people. Now, there was a voluntary evacuation for campers at River Breeze Campground in Marion. The McDowell County Emergency Management issued a voluntary evacuation order for the campground on River Breeze Road in Marion. Campers were encouraged to move to higher ground as the flash flood warning still remains in effect for McDowell County. This action is occurring to protect life and property due to the 3 to 4 inches of rain that fell yesterday afternoon and still was projected to fall later in the afternoon, and that was causing the Catawba River to rise very quickly. Now, that flood warning was extended in McDowell County until 8 o'clock last night. Heavy rains and some gust of winds yesterday closed school, caused damage to roads around Cleveland County. Shelby Fire and Rescue posted a photo on social media around 4 o'clock yesterday of a large tree that fell across the road on West Warren Street directly in front of the fire truck as it was on its way back to the station. While returning to the quarters, a large tree fell in the roadway on West Warren Street right in front of the truck, where the truck collided with the tree, according to that post. And according to the post, there were no injuries. An alert from the Henderson County Sheriff's Office said floodwaters from both Mud and Bat Fork Creeks were worsening as the day wore on yesterday. Considerable flooding was expected throughout the greater Hendersonville area. An area in Black Mountain experienced an ice storm yesterday. Broad River Volunteer Fire and Rescue said North Carolina 9 near High Rock was closed due to down power lines and trees and ice in the roadway. A retaining wall in Tryon collapsed on vehicles. Things in South Carolina weren't much better as schools canceled classes yesterday. In the upstate, more than 6,000 customers were without power, including 1,200 in Greenwood County alone. Nearly 800 customers were without power in both Anderson and Spartanburg counties. Duke Energy said repairs and damage assessments were underway, and Lawrence reported more than 1,200 people without power, mainly in the Greenville and Anderson area. So this was a very widespread storm and caused a lot of damage. Still assessing the damage. If you were traveling Whiteside Road, got to the bottom of the hill where the Orchard Park is, it was flooded out. That little creek, that little tiny creek, flooded that entire campground out just right here in Rutherford. So hopefully we get things cleaned up because we got more rain on the way, according to the weather forecast on Friday. We'll tell you more about that in just a little bit. Well, the town of Rutherford has been notified by the North Carolina Department of Transportation and Wright Brothers Construction that beginning on Monday, January the 22nd, again, the town of Rutherford are notified by the NCDOT and Wright Brothers Construction beginning on Monday, January the 22nd, Green Street will be closed between North Cleghorn Street and Allen Street. Local traffic for those residents living along Green Street will have access to their homes. However, all other traffic is asked to detour around this closure as the NCDOT and Wright Brothers Construction work to reconstruct Green Street and to construct the overpass bridge over the bypass. There will be no through traffic as the road will be removed and fully reconstructed along the construction of the new bridge. Access remains open to Second Baptist Church from the north main side of Green Street at North Cleghorn Street. This closure will be in place until the end of 2024. So there goes my shortcut to the medicine box and to the post office. So again, there will be no through traffic as Green Street is going to be removed and fully reconstructed with the new construction of the new bridge. But you can get to Second Baptist Church from North Main Street, come out Green Street and get to the church that way. A lot of changes, a lot of road changes, a lot of name changes to the roads. All of that in store, and all of that, can't wait to see what it's going to look like in 2026. Well, the North Carolina Insurance Commissioner Mike Causey has reported the arrest of Jimmy Dwayne Carranza, a 31-year-old licensed insurance agent from Ellenboro. Carranza faces charges of obtaining property by false pretense, that's a felony, for allegedly securing $14,708.61 in advanced insurance commission under false pretenses. It is claimed that Carranza wrote several life insurance policies without client consent, forged signatures, and provided false information. The incident occurred on August 1st, 2023. After his arrest, Rutherford County officials released Carranza on a $5,000 unsecured bond. Now, Commissioner Causey encouraged the public to stay alert to potential insurance scams and to report any suspicious promptly. He provided contact details for reporting, including a toll-free number for North Carolina residents. Causey added that the North Carolina Department of Insurance website offers further information and allows for the anonymous reporting of suspected scams or fraud. A Rutherford man pleaded guilty to providing the pills that killed a 16-year-old Gaston County teenager back in 2022. Dante Jaquise Miller, 25, recently pleaded guilty to death by distribution in the death of Abby Saunderson, who was found dead in her bed on the morning of September 26, 2022. That, according to a press release, he was sentenced to 44 to 65 months in prison. Miller conspired with Nicholas Ivey, Saunderson's boyfriend, to sell pressed fentanyl pills to Saunderson, who died after taking them. Ivey pleaded guilty last year to felony conspiracy and conspiracy to sell and deliver a controlled substance, and he was sentenced to 16 to 38 months in prison. Abby's mother, Tracy Saunderson Ross, said in an interview that she is released and very relieved that Miller will be going to prison. She said that seeing him in court for the first time was very emotional. She said there's many emotions, anger, sadness, so many emotions going through me right now. She said she was fuming, but he finally looked me in the eye, and I wish they could have made him say her name, but of course they can't make him do that. We'll take a look at our local obituaries, and we've got more news right after this. It's a family tradition, caring for your family at a time of sorrow and need. Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services, owned and operated by the Crow family, has been a part of our community for over 65 years. They've been recognized for the highest level of professional service. Crow's pinpoints every service detail to ensure your family has the best service possible. Any questions, call the staff at Crow's 286-2304. They'll be happy to speak with you about pre-funeral needs as well. Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services, 118 College Avenue, Rutherford, or visit them at www.crowmortuary.com. And our obituaries this hour are being brought to you by Crow's Mortuary. William Burt Sigmund passed away on Saturday, January the 6th, at the age of 69 after a long battle with early onset Alzheimer's disease. A memorial service will be held at 2 o'clock on Saturday, January the 20th. That's Saturday, January 20th, at Waldesian Presbyterian Church on East Main Street in Valdez. The family will receive friends from 12 until 1:45 in the church. The family requests that sympathy in the form of gifts in his memory be directed to Broughton Hospital or to the Waldesian Presbyterian Church. Those are the local arrangements for Mr. William Burt Sigmund. Terry Lynn Brackett, 62, of Caroline, passed away on Thursday, January the 4th. No formal services will be held. Harrelson Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements for Terry Lynn Brackett, and online condolences may be made at harrelsonfuneralhome.com. Paula Harris Mode, 67, of Rutherford, passed away on Saturday, January the 6th, at Atrium Health, Cleveland, and Shelby. A private celebration will be held at a later date. Online condolences may be made at harrelsonfuneralhome.com. Harrelson Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements for Paula Harris Mode. Melinda Peterson, 78, of Forest City, passed away on January the 7th. Her services are currently incomplete and will be asked by Paget and King. Online condolences may be made at pagetking.com. Paget King Mortuary in charge of the arrangements for Melinda Peterson. Carolyn Cantrell Good, 79, of Forest City, passed away on Friday, January the 5th. A memorial service will be held at a later date. Online condolences may be made at pagetking.com. Paget King Mortuary in charge of the arrangements for Carolyn Cantrell Good. Harold Williams, 78, of Mooresboro, passed away on Saturday, January the 6th, at hospice. A private memorial service will be held for the family only. Online condolences may be made at harrelsonfuneralhome.com. Harrelson Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements for Harold Williams. Carol Ruth Cook, 83, passed away on December the 20th. A memorial service will take place on January the 13th. This will be in Oregon. However, online condolences may be made at crowmortuary.com. Crow's Mortuary in charge of the local arrangements for Carol Ruth Cook. You can hear complete obituaries at 11:30 this morning here on Pure Country, 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherford.
Good morning. I'm Pastor Lee Coyle. Welcome to Coffee for the Soul, a brief moment of devotion designed to jumpstart your service to Christ today. Nothing gets my body and my spirit started in the morning like a fresh cup of coffee and a fresh challenge from God's Word. Today is Ash Wednesday, the beginning of the season of Lent. Lent, of course, is a season of prayer, repentance, and renewal as we prepare ourselves to commemorate and celebrate the passion of our Lord and His resurrection. Let me ask you a question. Has anyone ever said whatever to you with a less than desirable tone? Mary, the mother of Jesus, used the word whatever at the very beginning of Jesus' earthly ministry. However, Mary's use of the word was much higher and much more significant than the way we often hear it today. In fact, Mary's whatever, according to John 2, led to the first miracle Jesus did. It was at a wedding in Cana of Galilee. The unthinkable had happened at the wedding. They ran out of wine. Now, in that day where hospitality was literally next to godliness, that would have been a social and personal disaster, an embarrassment the family would likely never outlive. However, Mary, being a gracious friend, or perhaps a helpful relative, brought the issue to Jesus and instructed the servants to do whatever Jesus told them to do. Verse 5 of John 2 records Mary saying, "Whatever he says to you, do it." Wow, what a plain but profound challenge. Whatever he says to you, do it. That's the gospel according to Mary, the call to obey the Lord. And that call came with no qualifiers. She did not say, do whatever he says that sounds fun, easy, comfortable, popular, or even politically correct. The charge was simply, whatever he says to you, do it. The call to unconditional obedience. He says, love one another. He says, forgive one another. Serve one another. Turn the other cheek. Pray. Rejoice. Give thanks. Humble yourselves. Repent and believe the gospel. As you live this day, listen closely to what Jesus says to you, and whatever he says to you, do it. Now, that's coffee for the soul.
If you need a legal consultation regarding wills, real estate, closings, Medicaid planning, or just legal representation, contact attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Ken Baldwin at the Arledge Law Firm on East Court Street in Rutherfordton. They offer years of experience and expertise. Arledge Law Firm is your local professional law firm that really cares about their clients, and it shows. Whatever the situation you're facing, call 828-287-3338. Let the professional team go to work for you.
There are plenty of drugstores in Rutherford County, but not all of them offer the same personal customer service that is offered at the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton. Laura Hodge and her team have trusted experience and professional service. You're not just a number to them, you're a friend. Make the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton your hometown drugstore at 200 Charlotte Road in Rutherfordton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 1, 287-7117. Robbins Paint and Carpet is a friend of folks who do their own jobs around the house and friends of the professional. And they're the home of Benjamin Moore premium quality paint. Benjamin Moore goes on easy the first time, every time, so save yourself some time. And Robbins also provides expert help and advice to make every project a success. Call on the team at Robbins Paint and Carpet and Floor Covering today, 245-8801. That's 245-8801. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, 206 Commercial Drive in Forest City. 22 minutes past 8 o'clock. Well, we are still under that flash flood advisory. That is in effect until 12:30 this afternoon, and that is going to cover portions of Rutherford County until 12:30 this afternoon. Now, what it is, nuisance flooding from low-lying areas adjacent to streams and other poor drainage areas, including farmland, parks, greenways, boat access areas, golf courses, underpasses, parking lots, isolated shallow flows over roadways is still possible. A few flood-prone low-water crossings may become impassable. Now, this is for 12:30 this afternoon. Now, at 12:38 this morning, high flows of out-of-bank conditions continue across larger streams in Rutherford County from the earlier rainfall yesterday, especially along the Second Broad and Broad Rivers, resulting in isolated to scattered nuisance flooding of adjacent low-lying areas from Spindale to Bostic to Caroline to Cliffside and Harris. Therefore, a flood advisory will continue for the lower reaches of the Second Broad and Broad Rivers until stream levels fall below the bank full and that flood threat subside. If you traveled down Highway 64, you would have seen that Cathy's Creek came over her banks yesterday. Now, the Second Broad River may slow in its recession or produce a second smaller crest overnight tonight, or maybe later on this afternoon, before resuming a recession, falling below what they're calling the action advisory stage later on today. Some areas, including Spindale, Forest City, Ellenboro, Bostic, Alexander Mills, Harris, Caroline, Henrietta, and Cliffside, may be experiencing or may experience still yet some flooding in the areas. Well, a man was arrested on Monday for his alleged connection to an overdose-related death that occurred in October of 2023. According to the Spindale Police Department, surveillance video, interviews, and other information helped to identify Terrell Quante Ledbetter's involvement in distributing the lethal narcotics to the victims. On October the 8th, Spindale police were made aware of an overdose-related death at the Stagecoach Inn. When police arrived at the motel room, 2 individuals were found, one unconscious and the other, unfortunately, was dead. The unconscious individual was taken to Rutherford Hospital, where the victim was for an extended time prior to his recovery. Ledbetter was charged with second-degree murder. Officers found Ledbetter's car at the Town and Country Inn Suites in Spindale, determined what room he was in, and took him into custody. Ledbetter is currently being held in the Rutherford County Detention Center. Sports is done.
NCN Sports. Good morning. I'm Tony Rixby. In Pittsburgh last night, Kyle Filipowski scoring 26 points on 11 of 12 shooting, grabbing 10 rebounds. Number 11 Duke race past Pittsburgh 75-53. Coach John Shire.
I thought the story tonight was about our defense. I thought our defense was really good, probably the best we've played on that end. And we defended, we rebounded. And then, for Flip to play that way, he's a difference maker. When he plays that way for our team, I thought it totally changed the dynamic of our offense, our defense. I don't feel that there's really anybody like him.
Jameer Watkins scored 19 points. Florida State beat Wake Forest 87-82 to end the Demon Deacons' 9-game winning streak. Coach Steve Forbes.
I thought they put a lot of pressure on us in their transition offense right from the get-go, misses and turnovers. I think they were 10 for 17, and at least what we had, I think 10 for 17 in transition for the game. Bob and Miller did a really good job. He got them going early in the game.
Notre Dame beat Georgia Tech 75-68 in overtime. Another NFL coach out of a job.
The Tennessee Titans have fired Coach Mike Vrabel after back-to-back losing seasons. After coaching the Titans to a 41-24 record and playoff appearances in 3 of his first 4 seasons, Tennessee went 7-10 in 2022 and finished 6-11 this season. The 48-year-old Vrabel is 54-45 overall in his 6 seasons as a head coach, all with Tennessee. Vrabel is a former All-Pro linebacker who played 14 NFL seasons from 1997 to 2010.
In the NHL last night, the Seattle Kraken beating the Buffalo Sabres 5-2. Toronto over San Jose. Maple Leafs winning that one 7-1. You're listening to NCN Sports.
The COVID-19 updated shots are here.
To care for your loved ones, don't get sick this holiday season.
Get your fall COVID-19 and flu shots now.
Because fall weather is here.
And so are the germs that come with it.
Fall COVID-19 and flu vaccines
protect against serious illness, hospitalization, and death.
So get the boost you need.
Get your fall COVID-19 and flu vaccines.
Get your fall COVID-19 and flu vaccines. Go to myspot.nc.gov to find one today.
In North Carolina, child care centers are closing. Rates of depression and anxiety are rising in youth, and kids are going to bed hungry. This cannot be the future for our state's almost 3 million children. That's why NC Child is here, and we're advancing solutions that will help kids get the education they deserve, the health care they require, and the food they need. Learn more about how NC Child is helping all kids at ncchild.org. NC Child, the voice for North Carolina's children.
Gethin Coolbaugh reporting this morning, the Miami Marlins hiring a trailblazer in their front office.
The Miami Marlins are in agreement with Yankees minor league manager Rachel Balkovec to become their director of player development. Balkovec wrapped up her 2nd season as manager at Class A Tampa in September. She debuted with the team in April of 2022 with a win as the first woman to manage the affiliate of a Major League Baseball team. Before that, Balkovec was the first woman to serve as a full-time minor league strength and conditioning conditioning coach, then the first to be a full-time hitting coach in the minors with the Yankees. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
The preseason AP college football poll held up pretty well this year. 17 of the teams that began the season in the top 25 finished in the rankings. Only 8 did not. That's more than average. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
For complete and professional auto service, visit Tri-City Tire. They care about their customers, and it shows. They offer complete auto services in brakes, alignments, tune-ups, oil changes, inspections, also lift kits, and of course, complete tire service. Also tires for commercial, farm tractors, and ATVs. They also carry mowers and power equipment by Red Max. Tri-City Tire Service, 221 Daniel Road in Forest City, or call 828-287-8778. Tri-City Tire Service, your local tire and auto service center.
At Insurance Service Associates, we want to be your insurance agent. We try to make it easier for you. When you ask, we will shop your insurance with multiple companies. We don't charge extra fees for making a payment. You can come by our office, or with many of our companies, you can pay us over the phone. Many of our customers come through our drive-thru. We want to make it simple because life is already too complicated. Insurance Service Associates, 245 East Main Street, or you can call us at 245-5301.
Good morning. Lou Gillen with your forecast for today. Looking for partly sunny skies with highs around 50 degrees. Clear tonight, lows around 30. Tomorrow, sunshine, highs around 55. Overnight lows around 30. For Friday, another weather maker, rain with highs around 45. Overnight lows around 30. Saturday, sunny, highs around 45. Overnight lows around freezing. And then partly sunny for Sunday. Highs around 40. Overnight lows around 25 degrees. That is your forecast. Have a great day, and thank you for listening. We are Pure Country, 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton, where it's 8:30 and 35 degrees currently, and we are still under that flood advisory until 12:30 this afternoon. That flood advisory in effect until 12:30 this afternoon. Now, what is happening is excess rainfall has caused a slow onset of flooding of several streams in our area, resulting in isolated to scattered areas of low-lying flooding. Now, again, that's until 12:30 this afternoon. This flooding of low-lying areas adjacent to the streams and other poor drainage areas, that includes farmland, parks, greenways, boat access areas, golf courses, underpasses, parking lots. Isolated shallow flows over roadways is possible, and a few flood-prone low-water crossings may become impassable. And, I was talking about Green Street earlier. Yesterday afternoon, there were areas of Green Street where they have been doing all the grading, getting ready for the new road to come through, that Green Street was completely covered in water. And I know there's potholes, but I couldn't tell what was a pothole and what was still the road. So you were really having to dodge a lot of things in the Green Street area. Now, at 12:38 this morning, high flows and out-of-bank conditions continue along longer streams in Rutherford County from the earlier heavy rainfall, especially along the Second Broad and Broad Rivers, resulting in isolated to scattered nuisance flooding of adjacent low-lying areas from Spindale to Bostic, Caroline to Cliffside, and to Harris. Therefore, a flood advisory will continue for the lower reaches of the Second Broad and Broad Rivers until stream levels fall below the bank full and the flood threat subsides. Near Logan Station, current stage is 17.04 feet. Now, the action advisory stage is 15 feet. Minor flood stage, 22 feet. Crest, 17.69 feet. That was back on January the 9th. It is slowly falling. The Second Broad River may slow in its recession or produce a second smaller crest overnight tonight, or possibly still continue throughout the day. Some locations that may experience nuisance flooding and do include Forest City, Spindale, Ellenboro, Bostic, Alexander Mills, Harris, Caroline, Henrietta, and the Cliffside area. Just be careful wherever you're driving. And there were two. I keep going back to Green Street because I would travel Green Street twice yesterday. There were sections of Green Street where it looked like it was just basically crumbling. So because of all this road work. So just be careful wherever you may be driving. Speaking of sports, coming up tonight, we got Tar Heel basketball. It's the Tar Heels and NC State. Airtime will be 6:30 for the countdown to tip-off. Tip-off at 8 o'clock. And you can hear that game right here on Pure Country, 100.9 FM, 590 AM. Well, two arrests have been made in the connection to a death by medical neglect in Greenville County. According to the Greenville County Sheriff's Office, deputies opened an investigation on October the 27th after receiving a 911 call regarding a woman suffering from cardiac arrest in the 600 block of Jones Peak Drive in Simpsonville. Deputies said 33-year-old Christian Lewis was living with her non-related caregivers, 36-year-old Nicholas Perez and 31-year-old Jessica Lynn Perez, when she died. Now, during an investigation, they discovered that Nicholas Perez and Jessica Perez, who are married, were the primary caregivers for Lewis, who was reportedly partially paralyzed and confined to her bed. During the time the Perezes were caring for Lewis, investigators learned they failed to provide the necessary care, left her in unsanitary living conditions, which led to her death. The Greenville County Coroner's Office said Lewis died due to sepsis, due to bronchopneumonia, and other health issues. The Perezes turned themselves in yesterday morning, are facing charges of neglect resulting in death. They're currently being held in the Greenville County Detention Center awaiting a bond hearing. Well, a reward is being offered for information leading to the arrest of those responsible for a burglary at a Hendersonville sporting goods store where multiple guns were stolen. The burglary happened at the Blue Ridge Mall on Four Seasons Boulevard on January the 2nd. Now, according to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the thieves broke into Dunham Sports just before 3 a.m. and took multiple guns from the business. The ATF said the suspects were seen leaving the store before walking across the parking lot toward Freeman Street. A $5,000 reward is being offered for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible, that according to the ATF. And, of course, anyone with any information has to call the Hendersonville Police Department. A former inmate from Pickens County, South Carolina, is facing charges after a drone and other contraband were found near a state prison, that according to the SCDC Inspector General. Devin Michael Barksdale, 31, is charged with providing prisoners with contraband and criminal conspiracy. Officers confiscated a drone, tobacco, cell phones, jewelry, and other contraband items during the arrest, which occurred on a road near the Lieber Correctional Institution. SCDOC says Barksdale, who has served time for 18 different crimes since 2011, was released from prison in September 2023. He was on supervised re-entry oversight in Pickens County when he was arrested. And now, in a related story, back on December the 29th, the South Carolina Department of Corrections said 2 men were arrested after trying to use a drone to drop off contraband at Ridgeland Correctional Institution. Officials said police confronted 2 men in a solar panel field on Corrections Road in Ridgeland. According to officials, the 2 men were confronted because the solar panel field is known for illegal drone activity. Officers searched the 2 men with probable cause, found an orange drone, multiple narcotics, and cell phones. According to arrest warrants, all of the contraband was found wrapped in large black cloth bags. The contraband found inside the cloth bag included 30 grams of meth, 10.4 grams of cocaine, 875.3 grams of marijuana, tobacco, cell phones. Officials said Tavis Burnett, 42, and Joshua Brian Lay, 33, were arrested in the solar panel and face numerous other charges, such as trafficking methamphetamine, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, providing contraband to prisoners, criminal conspiracy. Now, according to officials, Lay was charged with 1 count of possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, and Barnett was charged with 2 counts. Well, if you keep up with any of this stuff, well, the home where Maggie and Paul Murdaugh were killed in Colleton County, South Carolina, is going to be put up for auction next month. J.P. King Auction Company, in conjunction with Crosby Land Company, announced on Monday that the custom-built home and surrounding 21-plus acres on Moselle Road will be up for auction online from February the 9th through the 15th. The home was part of more than a 1,700-acre property sold in March 2023 to James Ayer and Jeffrey Godfrey. Both the Ayer and Godley families have land nearby. They bought the land to expand their hunting, farming, and timber, that according to Jeff Godley, co-owner. He went on to say that the acreage bought included the home. However, we both already have homes. It's a beautiful, incredibly well-built house. I am next door neighbor with our home about a mile from this house. We seek a new neighbor to enjoy this gorgeous house and land, that according to the news release. Now, it describes the house as, if you've got the money to buy it, this is what you could buy. The custom house built is a 5,275 square foot house with 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, situated on upland open fields and adorned with high-end finishes throughout. A 2-story foyer includes heart pine floors, tongue and groove walls, a grand staircase leading to a mezzanine balcony, vaulted ceilings extended from the foyer to a family room with custom built-ins, crown molding, mahogany French doors that open to an expansive back porch. There's a recreational room, and the main floor master bedroom suite offers direct access to a covered back porch, an ensuite jacuzzi tub, and a walk-in closet. It's truly a top-tier property, complete with everything someone would enjoy. Find country living in a permanent resident or use it as a second home, that according to Trey Perman, CEO of J.P. King Auction Company. He went on to say the spacious floor plan could easily be converted into a weekend lodge or a corporate retreat with the capability to sleep up to 15 people, that according to Todd Crosby, Crosby Land Company. The 21-acre property has high topography, good soil that drains well to support horse and dog training activities, and a variety of other outdoor pursuits. Property tours are now available. Showing requires an appointment, and potential buyers must be pre-approved prior to a visit. Can't just go look at it just for the heck of it. You've got to be pre-approved first. And if you want to, you can call J.P. King Auction Company. There's a phone number to schedule a property tour. Bidding runs from February the 9th, 9 a.m. to February the 15th, 1 p.m. Starts at $1,100,000 or more. And to register for a bid, you can go to www.jpking.com or call 1-800-558-5464. You know the house is immaculate with all the money that he has been accused of stealing from his clients. I don't have it. We'll have more right after this. 'Tis the season when the termites and outdoor critters are showing up, plus moisture issues and crawl space care is needed. Sealed crawl spaces can help stop damp, musty smells from getting into your home. And odor can also indicate there's an environment that can allow mold or wood decay fungi to be in your home. Get your home under control with the professional services from Go Forth Termite and Pest Control. They're located at 667 North Washington Street in Rutherfordton. Call them at 828-287-3188. Big or small, Go Force Termite and Pest Control can handle it all.
Compassion, commitment, and professionalism. These are the qualities family members need at a time of sorrow. That's why families in Rutherford County turn to Harrelson Funeral Home. The professional staff at Harrelson Funeral Home in Forest City understands your sadness, your loneliness, and your need for guidance. You'll know when you turn to Harrelson Funeral Home that your deepest concerns will be felt. You need someone to listen and guide you through the process of planning a funeral. That's why you need Harrelson Funeral Home. To make it easier on you at that difficult time, plan early for services you'll want for your loved ones. Call Harrelson Funeral Home today. That phone number is 657-6383. See why Harrelson Funeral Home is the choice for you. 1251 Highway 221A, Forest City.
And this look at our community calendar has been brought to you by Harrelson Funeral Home. You can join the Rutherfordton Little League. The sign-up dates are January the 20th from 10 until 2 at the Spindale House, January 22nd, 2 until 4 at Rutherfordton Town Hall, January the 27th, 10 until 2 at the Spindale House, February the 4th, 1 until 4 at Lifestyle Wellness and Spa. Now, the cost is $45 for the first child, $35 for each additional child, ages 4 to 16, and you can follow them on Facebook at Rutherfordton Little League. Well, the January schedule for events at the Spindale Library Art in the afternoon. The next one will be January the 23rd from 2:30 until 4:30 in the afternoon. Preschool story time each Tuesday at 10 a.m. And Spinning Tales Book Club will have a discussion. This will be tomorrow at 10 o'clock, discussing the book Beach House by Mary Alice Monroe. And the Rutherford County Library System, welcome back to Spoonville. Spoonville is growing, and children are invited to the Mountains Branch Library on Tuesday, January the 16th at 4:30 to make your own Spoonie citizen. Registration is required. You can call the Mountains Branch Library at 828-287-6392 or visit online to sign up at rutherfordcountylibrary.org. Well, a Walmart worker called in to say his car was stolen. He was telling the truth, but his boss did not believe a word he said for one reason. That Walmart employee woke up to learn that his car had been stolen, found it in an unusual place. Gerald Moore from Fayetteville discovered his car was missing from his parking spot shortly before he was due at work. Now, the Walmart employee called his supervisor to tell him that his car was stolen, only for him to find out that it was parked at his place of employment, Walmart. That according to WRAL News. Now, 2 men and a juvenile were found in his Mercedes-Benz S-Class vehicle, along with several stolen credit cards and IDs, that according to police officers. Now, his 1999 Mercedes-Benz S320 was stolen on September the 17th. Now, the victim, scrambling to call police, did not inform his boss or call in sick. Instead, his boss called him to ask him where he was at 8:45 in the morning. Now, when Moore explained that his car had been stolen, his boss did not believe him, as his vehicle was parked outside Walmart where he worked. Now, that led to the supervisor calling police. Police found 3 suspects sitting in the man's Mercedes, 2 men and a juvenile. Officers took a look at surveillance footage, saw the 3 men get out of the Mercedes with the victim nowhere in sight. When police searched the suspect's car, they found several credit cards and driver's license that did not belong to them. The owners of the driver's license told police officers that their vehicles and belongings were burglarized. The thieves allegedly used the Mercedes to drive to different stores and buy items with the stolen credit cards. By sheer coincidence, they decided to stop at Walmart, where Moore was employed. Breslin Curry, 24, Motavis Freeman, 20, were arrested, and police filed a custody petition for the juvenile. Curry and Freeman face charges of breaking and entering a motor vehicle, larceny of a motor vehicle, larceny of a firearm, financial card theft, fraud, felony possession of stolen goods, conspiracy, contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Local NBC affiliate WRAL reported. Sergeant Alpha Caldwell of the Fayetteville Police Department said they expect to file more charges as this investigation continues. Okay. Do you buy bottled water? I do. Well, the average liter of bottled water has nearly 250,000 invisible pieces of ever so tiny nanoplastics detected and categorized for the first time by a microscope using dual lasers. Now, scientists long figured there were lots of these microplastic pieces, but until researchers at Columbia and Rutgers universities did their calculations, they never knew how many or what kind. Looking at 5 samples of each 3 common bottled water brands, researchers found particle levels ranged from 110,000 to 400,000 per liter, averaging at about 240,000, according to a study in Monday's proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. These particles that are less than a micron in size, they're about 25,400 microns, also called micrometers, because it's a millionth of a meter in an inch. Now, human hair is about 83 microns wide. Previous studies have looked at slightly bigger microplastics that range from the visible 5 millimeters, less than a quarter of an inch, to a micron. About 10 to 100 times more nanoplastics than microplastics were discovered in bottled water, that according to the study. Now, much of the plastic seems to be coming from the bottle itself, and the reverse osmosis membrane filter used to keep out other contaminants, said a study led by author Naxin Kwan, a Columbia physical chemist. She would not reveal the 3 brands of water because researchers want more samples before they single out a brand and want to study more brands. Still, she said they were common and bought at Walmart. Researchers still cannot answer the big question: are those nanoplastic pieces harmful to your health? That is under review. We don't know if it's dangerous or how dangerous. That, according to the study of co-author Phoebe Stapleton, a toxicologist at Rutgers University. She said, we do know that they are getting into the tissues of mammals, including people, and the current research is looking at what they're doing to the cells in the body. The International Bottled Water Association said in a statement, there currently is both a lack of standardized measuring methods and no scientific consensus on the potential health impacts of nanoplastic and microplastic particles. Therefore, media reports about these particles in drinking water do nothing more than necessarily scare customers. The American Chemistry Council, which represents plastic manufacturers, declined to immediately comment. The word is, quote, drowning under the weight of plastic pollution with more than 430 million tons of plastic produced annually, unquote, and microplastics found in the world's oceans, food, and drinking water, with some of them coming from clothing and cigarette filters, that according to the United Nations Environment Program. Efforts for the Global Plastics Treaty continue after talks bogged down back in November. All 4 co-authors interviewed said they were cutting back on their bottled water use after they conducted the study. Wee Min, the Columbia physical chemist who pioneered the dual laser microscope technology, said he has reduced his bottled water use by half. Stapleton says she now relies more on filtered water at home in New Jersey. But study co-author Beinzen Yan, a Columbia environmental chemist who increased his tap water usage, pointed out that filters themselves can be a problem by introducing plastics. Stapleton went on to say there's no win. Outside experts who praised the study agreed that there is a general unease about the perils of fine plastic particles, but it's too early to be sure. The danger of plastics themselves is still an unanswered question. For me, the additives are most concerning, that according to Duke University Professor of Medicine and Comparative Oncology Group Director Jason Somarelli, who was not a part of the research. He went on to say, we and others have shown that the nanoplastics can be internalized into cells, and we know that nanoplastics carry all kinds of chemical additives that could cause cell stress, DNA damage, and change metabolism or cell function. Somarelli said in his own not yet published work has found more than 100, quote, known cancer-causing chemicals in these plastics, unquote. Now, what's disturbing, said University of Toronto evolutionary biologist Zoe Diana, is that small particles can appear in different organs and may cross membranes that aren't meant to cross, such as the blood-brain barrier. Diana, who was not part of the study, said the new tool researchers used, making this an exciting development in the study of plastics and the environment and the body. About 15 years ago, men invented dual laser microscopic technology that identifies specific compounds by their chemical properties and how they resonate when exposed to the lasers. Yan and Quan talked to him about using that technique to find and identify plastics that had been too small for researchers using established methods. Kara Lavender Law, an oceanographer from the Sea Education Association, said the work can be an important advance in the detection of nanoplastics, but she said she'd like to see other analytical chemists replicate the technique and the results. Denise Hardesty, an Australian government oceanographer who studies plastic waste, said in context is needed, the total weight of the nanoplastic found is roughly equivalent to the weight of a single penny in the volume of 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Hardesty is less concerned than others about nanoplastics in bottled water, noting that I'm privileged to live in a place where I have access to clean tap water and I don't have to buy drinking water in single-use containers. Yan said he's starting to study other municipal water supplies in Boston, St. Louis, Los Angeles, and elsewhere to see how much plastics are in their tap water. Previous studies looking for microplastics and some early tests indicate there may be less nanoplastic in tap water than bottled. Even with unknowns about human health, Yan said he does have one recommendation for people who are worried. Use reusable bottles instead of single-use plastics. Okay, I use plastic bottled water, and I'm also guilty of, when it's empty, using it a couple more days, refilling it here at the station so I get my water. Instead of wasting these plastic cups out here, which is plastic, I reuse that plastic bottle. Man, they find everything to scare us to death. Okay, here's something else. If you see a gold light on a front porch, a gold light, what does it mean? Well, like red, green, and purple porch lights, a gold porch light also has a meaning behind it. When it comes to colored porch lights, you may associate them with certain times of the year: orange or purple for Halloween, green and red for Christmas, pastels for Easter, and we put out blue to support our law enforcement officers. But that's not the only significance. Do you know that people often use different colored porch lights to bring awareness to certain societal issues? So what does a gold porch light mean? Different colored porch lights are just one way people are creative in their decorative and communicative efforts. Changing the hue of your porch light is a simple act and something that makes supporting a cause more accessible to everyone. Different colors of the rainbow are used in porch lights for various reasons, like green lights symbolizing the return of an honorably discharged U.S. veteran, purple lights bringing awareness to instances of domestic violence, red could symbolize American Heart Month. Thinking about children with illnesses like cancer can be heartbreaking, but it still needs to be talked about, and those who go through such suffering in their lifetime often feel there is not enough funding and awareness for childhood cancer. There's even a Facebook group for such a cause if you're interested in learning more or donating to help. These people have also adopted the golden porch light, like a golden cancer ribbon, to signify their awareness of childhood cancer and their actions to help support research and funding. Gold is a beautiful color. It fits in with almost every type of celebration, especially Christmas, birthdays, and anniversaries. It's a warm hue that can make any home seem welcoming. Warm colored LED lights like yellow and gold have been found to keep bugs away. This is because the more muted color isn't as appealing to bugs as bright white or bluish lights. This option would be perfect for warm summer nights with family and friends, or even just solitude. Fewer bug bites and gorgeous golden scenery. That's a thought for summer.
Crazy severe weather pushed its way across North Carolina, dumping heavy rain and whipping up dangerous wind across the region. At least 4 people were killed across the South, including one person in Claremont. Sonia Smith lives in Claremont.
I heard that a lot of people got hurt real bad. There is one death we found out so far, but we don't know if there's any more.
There are also 60,000 households in the state without power. North Carolina Emergency Management Director Will Ray told NCN News.
If you have a portable heater, for some reason it will get down into the 30s, a little chilly for some areas of the state tonight. Make sure that you cut off portable heaters and extinguish candles again all before you go to bed.
Heavy and persistent rainfall caused flash flooding across several counties in western North Carolina on Tuesday.